Hello guys, what is up and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about another more complex Python data structure called queue. Very similar to stack, and it also has its own sort of in-out decision making, right? So in a queue, the memorization is FIFO, which means first in, first out. Meaning that the first thing that comes into the queue is the first thing that gets out of the queue. Okay. Right. So there are a few operations again associated with the queue, including enqueue, which is to add an item to queue, return overflow status if queue is full. Pretty self-explanatory. If the queue is full, return an error message. If and then enqueue just adds an item. Right, there's dequeue, remove item from queue. Right, and then this can also be called pop or popping an item from the queue. If queue is empty, return underflow status. There is front command, right, which returns front items, so the very first item from queue. And then there is the rear command, which is return rear item, which is the last item, right? So those functions are now listed complete, and we can really quickly take a look at the implementations of queue. So the first most obvious way, just like what I did with stack, is using a list to implement queue in Python. We can use Python commands such as append and pop to create the queue, right? So first, let's make a variable called queue with an empty list. We can queue.append, then we can append, an item onto it. So let's append the string Jack. We can append another item, Alex. Bobby. So we have a few names on the queue. And then we can now print this queue. And that, oh, yeah, you can't, okay. So just like that, and then there you go. Okay. So now, as you can see, it will print the queue, Jack, Alex, and Bobby. Next, all we need to do is create, I guess, the pop function that will take out an item from the queue. So we can actually we can keep that. Then we can print. Yeah, okay. Let's do print items popped. And then we can do print queue dot pop, and let's do index 0. Okay. And then we can print items popped, and that would be Jack. And if we print, the queue again, as you can see, the name Jack has been removed, and it is only Alex, and body. So if we keep popping items from the queue, then we can check out Python's error command when there are no more items. There are there's 3 items in the initial queue. So as you can see, we've popped all the items and now it's an empty queue. If we try to pop one more item, we'll return an error message, index error, and that's pop from empty list, right? That's Python's sort of underflow method. Okay, so there are other Python modules and libraries to help you create a queue. Now, the implementation of a queue is much simpler than the implementation of a stack. If you haven't seen that video, I can link it up in the corner right now. But there are libraries to implement queue, and it does that quite the same way as we implement a queue with a normal Python list, right? So there is a collections module that is called DQ, collections module DQ. So we do from collections import DQ. There we go. And then we can first create a queue. So queue equals DQ. Let's see, so that just creates a queue. But right now there is nothing in the queue, so we need to append items into the queue. So queue.append Jack and queue.append Alex. Alright, so we've appended a few items into the queue, and we can first print our initial queue. As you can see, we have Jack and Alex. The DQ here just makes everyone know that we are using the collections module. The pop function in collections is a bit different. It's pop left instead of normal pop, because when I am popping from the index 0, like I did before, it is the most left element. So we get pop. So as you can see, I'm not adding any index because we don't need index. We already have pop left. And that, as you can see, it is pop, Jack, and Alex. Now, what if we try to pop another item? It says again, index pop from an empty queue, because right now queue is empty. So those are 2 ways that you can implement queue in Python. It's very simple. The collections module does offer other commands that you can go check out on your own by just going over to docs.python.org and checking out the collections module. I will put the link in the description and you can check it out. I'll also put a link to Python's data structure documentation, so you can go check that out, and that will have all the commands such as append, extend, insert, remove, pop, clear, index, count, sort, all that kind of thing that you can go check out on your own. I may make another video about this later. So I hope you enjoyed watching this short video, and yeah, have a good day. Oh, and just to say one last thing, my IDE looks a bit different because first of all I'm using Atom, and second of all I changed some stuff on the style sheet, so it will just, I guess, look cooler. But anyway, have a good day and